started the final in the right way. You've won your heat, and although you don't know who's going to win the other two yet, things are looking better.
Yes, the car's going very well today. We've got all the boost pressure, and the tyres have stayed on the rim, and the little marmaladies have stayed out of the electronics, so it's looking very good. We had a fairly easy win over Mark, but he again was in that race going for a place as opposed to an outright time, so we have to wait and see now who qualifies in the next two races.
That's right, and of course you've still got the grand final, the last one, when it all could happen and go right for you.
You've always got to have one race that goes right for you.
And you think this could be yours coming up, do you?
I think we're in with a very good chance, the same as Dimi, Mark, Michael Shields is going very well. So Rallycross, anything can happen. It's a long way from the start to the first corner. And then if you negotiate that properly, then there's the other 3 or 4 laps after that.
But at last we've seen John Welch looking like the champion of old, winning a race and doing it in style.
I haven't got any excuses, have I?
No, you haven't. Well done, John.
Thank you very much.
And down for the 13th this afternoon then on pole position, our early series leader, Trevor Hopkins, and he's got a lot to do here to get back into the final. Beside him, Roger Newbould, who is the top Formula B driver in the series in qualifying, and he also, like the other two, comes from Yorkshire, so a marvellous hat-trick of success there for the Yorkshire drivers. But on the inside of the second row, I can see Ross Browning. Ross, do you think a place in the top 3 is on the cards here?
I'll keep trying, Arthur. I'm going to see if I can get past Roger off the line, but once we get going, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, it has. It's got Charlie written on the back of his car, but he's certainly no Charlie, is he? When it comes to driving, Roger Newbould's a very quick cup of tea indeed. So we shall shortly know the outcome of this one. Watch the black Audi Quattro on the outside, which gets off the line very quickly indeed. And then certainly look at Dimi Mavropolous streaming away there into the lead with surely Barry Hathaway through into second place. Barry Hathaway into second. Here comes Roger Newbould, our camera car there in fourth place. And behind them we can see a big batch of cars lining up with Roy Clark in amongst them. But it's Dimi Mavropolous, Barry Hathaway, Roger Newbould. Then comes Ross Browning with the camera on board in fourth place. And remember, Ross must be in the first 3 to go into our final at the end of the afternoon. Can he do it? The driver he's got to beat is the man he's been battling against with all through 1987, and that indeed is Roger Newbould there in third place. But here's our race leader. Second place, Barry Hathaway. There's Roger Newbould, but Dimi Mavropolous leading Barry Hathaway, and Barry with the only 300 brake horsepower Metro in second place. He's got about 100 brake horsepower, at least less than the ones you saw earlier. This is what we call the Clubman specification engine, and obviously not an expensive engine, but certainly a very reliable one and a good driver in Barry Hathaway. But at the moment, this 660 brake horsepower turbocharged fuel-injected Audi Quattro as Roger Newbould comes through in third place. And we look then to see the gaps now beginning to open up quite a bit as Ross Browning comes through. Ross Browning going down into and down tumble downhill. Ross really is the man to watch. That battle for third and fourth places for that elusive place in the final, and of course to get perhaps our camera car into the final as well. But meantime, Dimi Mavropolous in the Shell Oils Black Audi Quattro S1 goes on his way, looking to be a fairly comfortable ride for Dimi in this race. Roger Newbould there still in third. Those two some way down on Barry Hathaway. There we see Barry coming into short in second place. Roger Newbould in third. Ross Browning seemingly in fourth place there. Not going to get too close to Roger Newbould as they come down onto the Cooper Straight. We can still, the gap very much wider than it was between the leading cars. But how about down in fourth place? Can you hear us, Ross Browning?
Second.
And Ross there working hard on the steering wheel, as you can see, as he goes up the ascent in for the last time then as they go down. The leader's already through the notorious S's at the bottom of Tumble Downhill, and Dimi Mavropolous for the Shell Oils team having a fairly comfortable ride here. And of course that was made all the more easier when the Shell Oils RS200 of Trevor Hopkins was left on the start line. So Dimi coming through them, and it's number 8, the Cypriot driver, Dimi Mavropolous, with the Audi Quattro through to take a very comfortable victory in this, our third race. Second place man, Barry Hathaway from Northern Essex. And in third place, it's going to be Roger Newbould. Roger going to be one of the few two-wheel drive cars to get through to the final, and certainly Ross Browning doesn't make it. But there's Dimi Mavropolous for the Shell Oils team.